In the last few years, North America has seen the birth of what is rapidly becoming a strong and vibrant hip-hop scene in the South Asian community. Second and third generation Punjabis have been leading the charge and driving this momentum, and nowhere is this better seen than on the east coast of Canada, in Toronto. Though it's still early days, the Punjabi hip-hop sound in Toronto is already one of the most recognisable, but hip-hop is not all that's coming out of T-Dot. New Music travelled to Toronto, where we met a vocalist whose soulful sound and tender voice complement the message of love and tolerance she wants to share with the world. We spoke to Selena Dhillon.
I've been singing since I was 4 years old, actually. I, again, didn't come from the most musical family, but a lot of my family members listened to a lot of the classics. So I was listening to jazz standards and some of the classics like Killing Me Softly, covered by Roberta Flack. I heard that when I was very young, and that's really when I got into singing. I just connected with this, and I loved to perform. I was always performing. Anytime family members were over, just doing it always. And then it wasn't until like I think 2 or 3 is when I started to get into shows. I auditioned for a couple of children's shows, doing all types of things. I've always been working at it, always been out there. I think when I started to take it professionally was during high school. And that's when I started to record with friends that I knew were starting to produce and get into that. And I've been doing it ever since. I started off with J Static. We did recordings way back many years ago, and I've just been so blessed to meet the artists that I'm working with now.
Like many of the artists in Toronto, Selena is an activist who believes in the lyrics she is singing. Her message is empowering for men and women alike, inspiring greater awareness on politics and social issues.
With your freedom in mind.
Currently, I'm also doing my master's as well, and my ultimate goal is to reach people with a particular message. I mean, it could be very easy for me to do a pop song or a mainstream song and blow up, and I've been told that many times too. You know, you can sell yourself and do this, and that's a very quick route. But the music that I have has a very positive message to it. It has a certain message to it. It's to empower, and it's to be a bit more conscious of things around us. And that's ultimately what I'm doing with my career in school, and how I bring that back to music. It relates all the time. So my end result would be to have like a very conscious project by the end of this. I haven't started to do that yet, but I'm working on something like that.
It is we that'll change our universe. Where to go?
Well, writing and working with past musicians, I was very focused on just R&B, just that type of genre. So being a part of this group has allowed me to kind of touch base with different genres. My appreciation for hip hop has grown immensely over the years, and I'm also living in New York City now, so it's really where hip hop was born. So being around that too, I just have a very different perspective on it, and that really keeps inspiring my music. So again, the experience I'm gaining out of working with this fantastic group of artists is just taking my music to a different level completely.
That awful sound, bang bang, my voice was drowned, bang bang. No, they can't keep me down.
We'll rise from the flat line.
Bang bang.
We'll rise from the flat line.
Bang bang.
We'll rise from the flat line.
This has been like maybe a few years now that I've known them, and I knew Guggen actually for the longest, but not in music. It was more just through mutual friends, and my brother is actually really good friends with him. So I've had different connections with all of them. Gaur and I have a mutual friend, so I knew of him from a while ago. But working on music's been for a few years now, solid. So. I don't see a difference. There's no censorship here at all, and it's no different. I mean, we're all very honest with each other, all on the same level. Nobody treats me any differently at all. I mean, if you've spoken to some of the artists earlier, they might say, oh, if one person records a verse, they feel like they need to kind of step up, you know, and that kind of helps them, pushes them to be better. I guess you could say in that way I don't have very much competition here, but the honesty that I receive and the feedback that I constantly get from everybody pushes me, definitely. I try hard, I really do. I definitely try really hard to accomplish what I do in school as well, so.
Music, music. Quarter of a century's gone by.
Because we're the best. I don't know actually. I have no idea why this is happening here. A lot of great things have emerged out of this city. Most recently, you can definitely tell by what you're hearing on the radio. I live in New York City, so I'm constantly hearing Toronto artists. I hear Drake every 2 seconds of the day. So to know that a lot of this is happening out of Toronto, I think it's just been that much more inspiring, and it's definitely tangible.
Selena is intelligent, thoughtful and patient. She works incredibly hard at her craft and is reflective of the Toronto scene as a whole, where artists are willing to bide their time before making a bigger impact. Her commitment to carry these values on into her life outside of being a vocalist is admirable and reaps its own rewards.
I think a commonality would be the work ethic, definitely. You can definitely see that from a lot of the artists that are coming out of here. That's how you're really going to make it. A lot of people can sing, a lot of people can rap, a lot of people can write. What's going to differentiate you is your work ethic, and that's how I've done everything in my life up until this point. So people might say, oh, she's really smart, but that's not actually even true. I work really hard to understand what I'm doing, and that's what pushes me. I'm always working constantly, so it doesn't stop.
Selena Dhillon can be found online at www.selenadhillon.com and at selenadhillon.bandcamp.com, where you can download her work.